Sunday. I'm sorry, it's Monday, December 17th, I believe. And I don't know. I just woke up. I woke up at 7 a.m. I didn't sleep very well last night at all. I don't know why. Might be caffeine, might be anxiety just from a lot of stuff going on. I think, I'm moving and leaving everyone I've ever met in a couple days. It's gonna be weird. But I don't know. It's okay. It's fine. I'm excited more than anything, so it's fine. As far as responsibilities go, I have this test tomorrow. I'm decently prepared for it, honestly. I thought I was gonna be, and honestly, even if I fail it, it's not the end of the world. I've done well in the class, and I'm going to pass the course no matter what I get. So it's like, if I get a 65, that's fine. Like, if I get a 0, I think that'll be okay. But I'm gonna take it anyway, just to make sure I kind of pass. But yeah, so whatever. Then I'm concerned about how to get my degree. I don't know if there's like a final form or something that I have to fill out, but I didn't fill that out, and I'm embarrassed about that because it's like, I don't know. I feel like people sometimes like have this knowledge of how the school operates that I just am missing for some reason. It's like, okay, whatever. If I have to go and get some degree form that says I filled out everything, then I'm gonna go do that. Anyway, I have this test tomorrow. Cool. Then when I get to Atlanta, I have to think about a couple things. I have to think about my clothes, right? I don't know how to. I need a system that's not going to piss anybody off. That's going to not piss me off. And I need to bring the right stuff, and I don't want to bring too much stuff. Like, I think bringing just the right amount of stuff is really important. I'd rather bring too little than too much, because I think too much is going to piss off Jamie and Connor, and I think too little that means I can buy more stuff once I get a job. And then that brings me to the next thing, is that I need a job. And when I was putting out applications, I was getting tons of interviews, but I don't know when I should start putting out applications again. I think I probably should start sometime this week, probably about Thursday is when I'm going to start sending applications again, because we're leaving Friday, and that means, next week, potentially, I could start coming in for interviews and whatever, but so I'm gonna do that, and I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna take any job. I'm gonna take any job that pays well, and I'm not gonna take the first offer that's given to me. And I'm probably gonna leave that job, like, not super early, but pretty early into that job, because I know that it's probably going to be miserable. It's probably not going to be very close to what I want to do. And I mainly just need to pay the bills. And I'd like to learn from somebody. And if I'm not learning very much, then I don't want to stay at a job, because I think it's really silly to stay at a job where you're not learning very much. I don't know. Man, these get a lot tougher if you do them every day for so long, because I don't know, I feel like I've really got almost nothing to say. Which is horrible. This is probably going to be the worst video ever. But that's okay. I don't know. I've been home, and that's been really cool. It's been really cool to kind of interact with my parents, and I don't know. I feel like they view you differently as you grow up, right? And you view yourself differently, and then like you second guess yourself, like you don't know, like, if the things that have manifested in your life, like if the changes that you've made to your character since you have been by yourself, you don't know if they're correct or not, or, I mean, correct is kind of subjective, so you don't know if they are, you second guess them. You second guess yourself when you come home, after you've built yourself, I think, into somebody who's distinctly different than who you were before, at least for me, I think. You come home, you interact with people that you've known since you were 0, who birthed you into the world, and they view you from a very different light, and they're not afraid to say that. Like, they I don't know, it's weird, because like they slowly like recognize that you've changed a little bit by a little bit, but they don't ever wake up one day and say, oh yeah, this person's changed completely. which is fine. It's weird. It's this weird jelly relationship, and you know, you have an effect on them as just as much as they have an effect on you, which is also very weird. You know, like, and that's the thing. I feel like, so okay. Here's something to talk about. I had a conversation with a person that I don't want to name about the effects of drugs on your life, right? Marijuana, particularly. And I approached the conversation from the mindset of, you know, I am not a very disciplined person. Like when when I am faced with adversity or when a difficult situation comes my way, like an intensely difficult situation, and a situation where I have to, you know, feel physical pain, or a situation where, you know, like being sick. You know, maybe that's not like a sharp stabbing pain, but that's the pain of like, okay, like my whole body hurts right now, and it alters the way your mind thinks, right? Also, like situations that like have a lot of anxiety attached to them, like big decisions or like huge, you know, tests or anything that's like, here's a big thing. I kind of crumble in the face of those, right? And it's not good. And my argument, although I don't think it was very well articulated, was that if I had the out that is marijuana, if I could smoke weed every time I was facing a problem like that, I would never ever face a problem like that, ever. I would just hide. And that would make me a worse person, because I think you need to go through those things. You need to fail a test, and you need to study hard, and then achieve more and succeed on a test, and you need to, you know, have. I don't know. I really think that like a great way to rob someone of the achievements they're gonna make in their life is to introduce them to drugs at an early age. Like, and I know I sound like a dad or like a grandpa, but it totally makes sense to me why you know, why teachers and D.A.R.E programs exist, you know, like that say, hey, say no to drugs. And it's like, it's not because of any damaging health effects that's going to have on your body, because I think that people don't weigh that as heavily. You know, that's a problem for future Homer, right? That doesn't have, you know, saying, hey, every time you eat a donut, like you might get diabetes and you might have to have your feet cut off. Like, I don't think that our brains are functioning in a way that's going to make that sound super scary. And the donut sends dopamine rushes to your head and glucose to your bloodstream. So I think the fear of having your feet cut off pales in comparison to how good the dopamine hit of the donut feels and the glucose levels into your bloodstream. So I think it's the same thing with drugs. You can't tell young people that drugs are going to, you know, destroy their minds, because I don't think that that's true, you know, and they don't think that that's true. But here's what is true, is that marijuana gives you an out. It lets you just kind of regress to this level of like infancy, and it lets you escape your problems. And it's really nice every once in a while. But when you do that constantly all the time, it's like, wow, that's dangerous. That's a great way to make one hell of a like a big incompetent baby, you know, like like a 25-year-old person that's incapable of making decisions and incapable of, you know, imposing any kind of will in their lives or in themselves. And I don't mean to be judgmental. I mean, hell, I don't know these things. I feel like from my own experience in my life, that's what it would have done to me. If I had got super into drugs, if it had, I don't know. I feel like every time I've ever done drugs, I've done the stuff that like totally warps your brain so much that you don't even want to be there anymore. And that's what it does to me anyway. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe if I had, you know, maybe if it had less of an effect on me and whatever, then maybe there's a sustainable way to do that in your life. But I think that is so difficult. And I think that That to me is an unknown. It's like I trust myself to like handle this substance in a way that's responsible, and it's like you're probably gonna fuck that up. Like like I fuck up a lot of stuff, and if I had to fuck up, trying to handle drugs like that in my life, I don't know. And you know what? Alcohol is probably the same thing, but I don't know. I just think about alcohol fundamentally different than I think about marijuana, because it's like I don't know. You can stop drinking and come down in like a while, and you can feel that. It also makes you sick. I don't know. I mean, I guess smoking too much makes you sick too, but I don't know. I just think it's, I know lawyers with a drinking problem, and I know doctors with a drinking problem. I don't see many, doctors and lawyers in pop culture and in the zeitgeist who are super big stoners. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that it's goes hand in hand with that. Like, maybe I'm just, and you know what? It's probably a generation thing. I think as weed becomes legalized, we're gonna see everybody use it, and it's probably a stigma that exists in my brain. But I don't know. Yeah, I think that if I had an escape plan for every stage of my life, I would have never engaged with anything meaningful. It would have sucked. But anyway, it's not my place to tell somebody else that. That's the other thing, is that it's like, shut up. Stop preaching at me. Let them learn, like, and maybe they'll learn something fundamentally different, and that's fine. I don't know. It sucks, man, because I don't know, you love these people, and you hope the best for them, and you want them to be proud of who they are, and you want to be proud of them, and it's like, it's really hard because, I don't know, it's tough. Okay, goodbye.